Can I have you just introduce yourself, sort of your name, your age, sort of where you're from, and sort of what your experience is like kind of what you do and what you do for a living, essentially.
Sure. Yeah. My name is Antoine, and yeah, I'm 31 now. And I work in research and R&D for in the biotech space. So a lot of my work revolves around troubleshooting issues that we have at work and using a lot of what's called data analysis to kind of identify trends and whatnot. So I think that's kind of like how it helps me with what I'm currently, taking a part of from this program. So
Got it. A lot of data analytic kind of stuff.
for sure, yeah.
Did you have any sort of experience in trading stocks, equities, crypto, forex, anything like that prior?
Stock before, just kind of like dip a little bit, dip and dive into in terms of like just option trading kind of thing, just quick chart, just to kind of see, feel it out. But of course, there's for every gain you have, there are losses, and so just from that, learn value experiences, and then just still, invest in the market by just investing into like long-term stocks or ETFs. So that's majority of my main portfolio until I discovered this program where you kind of like see, your what's called your achievement and whatnot. So that's kind of brought my interest into this possibly something in the works here for, like swing trading and whatnot. So
Got it. So pretty much tried like pretty much everything, right? You did the stocks, you did options. Now you're like the
right,
now you're pretty much with more it's like the long term sort of medium term like swing trading sort of a thing.
correct, yep,
Awesome. What was you delved into a little bit, but what was your experience like doing like all those other ones? How successful or unsuccessful were those?
right. Yeah, I mean, there was like days where I can gain just from option like $10,000, right? Just because of like a quick spike up, and you know
Exactly.
how option are, like it's in a multiplier returns, and then there's time where like it's it also that go down like big percentage. So yeah, it's just like I remember just short term option. That's where like I guess the big mover are. So
Mhm.
waking up at like six, kind of like 6:25, waiting for the bell to open at 6:30 here in the West Coast, and then you just like within minutes or seconds you see your option either go up 50% or minus 50%. So
Yeah.
see success and failure from that sometime, and then I just kind of like got burned out of that schedule type of just like I try to sleep well, but then you never know if you have a position open, you just kind of like have to be there quickly just to either close it out regardless of the result. So yeah, just stay away from that, and then just start long term just investing. And so like kind of not needing to wake up so early for the market just to time it correctly. So
Got it. Was it a overall like a net sort of a positive or like net negative
Uh,
with that?
yeah, a little positive, but then it's just like that in
Just
terms of
wasn't
like
worth
how much. Yeah, lots of worries, lots of stress, just because you never know how that day go. Your big win, you're like, oh man, this is easy, and then of course, your
it.
big loss, you're like, oh man. So overall, yeah, pretty much net probably a little bit net profit, but for the amount of work and just stress, it wasn't like worth it. So yeah,
Yeah, no, I know exactly how you felt. I did options. I was waking up early in the morning too. He had huge highs,
yeah,
huge lows as well.
right,
It wasn't worth it. Yeah,
for sure.
awesome. And sort of, can you explain sort of the emotions with sort of what you're doing before with sort of this program? How is the
Right. Oh yeah, I mean back then, years younger, right? So you're seeing like the success, so you're like, oh, you can just make it. It could be a lifetime thing, and then you find out you can get burned on certain positions. So try to put emotion away from that, and then through discipline, just getting older, I guess wiser. It's true, I guess you do learn from your mistake and whatnot, and then just yeah, seeing from this program, just easy breakdown. That's still, like you're just understanding some certain indicators, some certain part that charting is not too difficult in a way.
Mhm.
But just and the way you break it down to, it's not like crazy math or crazy stuff that you have to like knowledge it. It's just do your due diligence, and it's of course nothing is guaranteed, right? But you're with doing your due diligence of like researching beforehand before entering the position, you can put yourself in a great position just to you know
Let's
start
see.
your position. And with all this planned out, I kind of like gauge, sometime I enter early and I know where my next dollar cost averaging area is, and kind of like predict it. Sometimes your prediction, of course, is going to go up, but you just don't know when, and of course it can fall out of your whatever charting that you're writing out for yourself. So
Yeah, but just by having that long-term vision and dollar costing averaging
right.
next demand level, that's how you pretty much have the sustainable sort of consistent profits in the market.
Exactly, yeah. And I don't even phase about like losing, a percent here and there. I enter early. I'm like, oh, I already kind of anticipate kind of that. So that's just taking the emotion away, just let the chart draw. It could take days. Like I said, sometimes my trade could take just the next day it pops up, or it could take weeks. My longest holding, I think, is just a month, which are kind of like, oh man, that's how long it's gonna take. But then, you did preach that sometimes you'd be holding for weeks, months, even years if you have to, but you pretty much position yourself to hold these positions, and you get great value. So that's why like you enter these plays, right? So that's what
Beautiful.
took it. Yeah.
I love to hear it. Can you share some of
Okay.
your experience or show me some of your wins, some of your losses, or just overall? It looks like you pretty much had all wins.
This,
So can you share
yeah,
some of your
exactly.
experience uh, with some of your plays?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, some of the discussion I had with you, even though yeah, I think you said like it's not something you would dive in. Two of the main that I can recall is Walgreens and Bath and Body Works. Seen a lot of beat down just from RSI's wise, like in oversold territory, and did my due diligence just to like find out these company financial and whatnot, and then start going to the charting. This is kind of like, yeah, there's this quick, yeah, the way you break down like your research, pretty simple. Just from one step, okay, if this is good, go to the next, and then eventually you get to your charting, and you draw it out, and I see it's aligned to what I anticipate, and then yeah, just started new, but I seek for your opinion, and I think for personally for yourself, you wouldn't like, or it's something I guess you're not like an expert or kind of like know these stock, like too well, but you could dive into it, and then I just, yeah, I took a chance. Just essentially for Bath and Body Works, I was able to just pretty much enter and the lead position for like 2 to 3% gain, and it works out because within the trend line, and the level is just go up 3% and it goes down the next day, or whatever the case may be. And I know these chart or these stocks, and you enter well positioned, and but most of the time I think they can rally for, let's just say, 10, 20, 30%. And I'm happy if I can able to just capture 2 or 4% of that. Exactly. Because yeah, when I see that go, like I asked it for 4% and I see it's still rolling rallying up to 10%, I'm like, oh man, I missed out. But I'm glad I'm in the net positive, right? So that's what I'm
So overall, you've been in this program for how long? Do you,
a little bit over 2 months.
a little over two
Yeah.
months, and pretty much every single play was successful. Can you? How many
Yeah.
plays overall have you entered?
Oh man.
Quite a bit,
I
right?
would quite a bit, yeah. I think the first month I was just kind of like just taking it easy, kind of like you guiding some of your thoughts and your play. So I think I only did like maybe 5 trades within that first month, and then the second month when I think I shared with you the success, and then when I was like looking up, I'm like, oh man, there's a lot trade, even though it's like minimal percentage. Some of them is like only 0.5%, some could be 4.5, and then when I add it all up, it's totaling I think like 46 a couple days ago total gain. But then yeah, I was able to close out a couple more positions, so now it's over 50%. So
Beautiful. So over
yeah,
50%
yeah,
in your portfolio in the matter of a couple
right,
months, 2 months.
months, exactly, yep,
I love to hear it. I love to hear it.
for
Uh,
sure.
how was your experience in those sort of trades? The emotions were, I guess, were a lot less than you when you were doing like when you were doing
For sure.
that kind
Yeah.
of, right?
I mean, right at the beginning, right? I just like just discover you just learn these basically these techniques and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, let's just see how it plans out. And the more trade I get into is like the less emotion I'm like even attached to it, because it's, yeah, I think the most position I was in that was like maybe down, I think 3 5%, and then I'll just dollar cost average down from that level. And it was kind of like I anticipated those downfall, because yeah, drawing these trend line, and I think your program works because you do mention like stop losses, and the moment I see like it breaks out just a tiny portion off your trend line, like 10 20 cent, and then that's when like market maker probably trying to stop out people with stop loss position, and then instantly it bounced back up, and that's the move everyone was waiting on. And but if you
Quantum
put your emotion
manipulation.
aside, yeah, you do your due diligence, just drop out some kind of your trend line. It's fine, as long as you understand what you're risking. Of course, nothing is what's it,
Yeah.
100%, right? But yeah, just taking from what I learned from you and then just applying to my own ways. Because I think what I took from your your first, I think, module teaching was pretty much you can give a man a fish and you can feed him for a day, or you can teach them how to fish and you can was it, yeah, he can feed himself for a lifetime. And that's the most important goal that I really want to take from this program. Because the dollar amount, like maybe following your trades, like sure it's great to help get the ball rolling, but it's ultimately I really wanted to create develop my own system just from your teaching. And then I think I have something in the works. I think it's shown success, and just continue to work upon that. So
Beautiful. What was like the time commitment with this sort of program overall? Just
right,
keep up with your job. Your job is kind
sure.
of on the busier side, I assume.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I mean at the beginning it's just trying to get everything in place, even though I have some experience, so I guess not completely beginner, is it, but then just going to a bit more understand the indicators and the technicals. Took a little while, and then of course researching the stocks is doesn't not too bad. This guideline, just follow it. Not doesn't seem too bad, but then you really want to know what you're trying to get into, like these stocks. What are you invested into? So at the beginning it took a while, but then now I think maybe during the day I would check if certain stock movement, price action. But majority of my I guess the work I've done is on Sunday nights, just kind
Beautiful.
of overlooking overall the market, seeing how it is. Because yeah, I mean the moment I see couple days it was like major red, especially like tech company. That's when I kind of like see, because majority of my long haul are in I like the technology space, but I see it's going down 2 to 5%, while the rest some other what's it, sector are going up. So I'm like, oh, that's it's
Great.
always rotating, right? So I was like, okay, that I can see why like your style of investing kind of works, because not
Yeah.
everything can go up, right? So it'll pull back, and that's when there's opportunity, like especially this week, where I think it pretty much play out how you preach out to your student and whatnot. Where I think on a Monday I was able to close out a lot of my positions, and then this past Tuesday and Wednesday market pullback, and then that's when I was like, oh, this red day is like great. Green days are great for me as well as red day, because that's when your
There's
deals, just your trying to
yeah,
find your value. So I was able to find enter some positions. So hopefully it works out. But I think I positioned myself well in to enter these positions. So
beautiful. I love to hear it.
yeah.
Overall, like, can you sort of share some of your experience throughout this program? Some of your what are your thoughts with this program so far?
Yeah, it's been great. It's pretty much whatever you put in is what you want to take out, and I should like suggest to everyone that you, Eric, the team, that you guys are a resource. So you guys you guys always check it up on your student every day, regardless if we respond back or not. And then I think I should take advantage of that a little bit better. But yeah, the time I do, like, oh man, I'm kind of like asking this kind of like the same similar question, right? But different stock just to get your thought. But I think I should try to get better. Just keep always asking for a second opinion, because and then yeah, the weekly call really brings everyone together, and seeing how everyone share their wins. Some of the wins, I'm like, oh man, how can I not catch that stock on my radar? So this for myself, I have something that I can work upon, and but still always learning experience, because everyone's like trading differently, and everyone's seeing a stock differently. So
Yeah, exactly. Like even for me, like from the students themselves, they brought my
yeah,
attention to American Airlines recently, and I
right,
the play. I found multiple confluences around that area. Got
yeah,
into the play. The play on the two trading days later jumped
right,
5%. Was beautiful. Was a beautiful thing to see.
yeah,
But
for sure, yeah.
yeah, would you recommend this program to others? Is sort of like a sort of population that you recommend it to, or is there any sort of like limitations with sort of this program?
Yeah, I think if anyone who's interested in kind of like learning more about the stock market, and kind of like having a style of investing, where of course, yeah, you can just say something, someone just recommend that don't worry about stress and emotion. It's just a lot of on Reddit they'll recommend like just BOO and chill, which is just invest in the S&P 500, and historical data does show that it's always an uptrend. Of course, there are several you know, what's called like correction, depression period. But majority of the time it should go up. So if you want to go that route, you could. But if you want to look for something that is, you know, kind of active, kind of like get you more involved in trading, and it's you know, it works in a way like where of course nothing's guaranteed, but it does put you in a position. And yeah, I mean, I've been finding success. I hope to continue this success. But yeah, I think it's anyone who's really proactive, because there's money to be made out there. Doesn't take a lot, you know, like crazy amount of time to be dedicated. Just learn, build your foundation, and then just ask questions. Ultimately, yeah, using you guys as a resource to expand, you know, your horizon, and from there, it's just it's you taking the wheel behind the wheel and driving as far as you can go. So.
Beautiful. Ultimately, what are your like sort of goals with this like program, or just overall in life? Do you have any financial goals that you're trying to achieve from like joining this program?
Uh, yeah, I think that was the first initial screening when I think it was Eric asking me like, "Oh, what's your goal in this program?" I thought, I don't know, a couple thousand maybe a year, or even like, and then he's like, "Oh, go higher," and I'm like, "Okay, maybe 10,000." Or let's say, yeah, just try it out. I don't know, 10,000. I think I can. It's like 10,000 I wouldn't have for in a year, right? And then I was able to manage to cash that within 2 months. So
Beautiful.
yeah, and then so yeah, continued success. I don't see a reason why it can't go on. Maybe I'm on hot streak. I mean, everyone is like the saying say, you know, everyone can be smart during a bull market, right? So I'm gonna see how the pullback, the trend could be, how it plays out. But I think I'm having the knowledge of this, learning from this course, really position myself to find value pretty much every day. There's always something out there. You just gotta find it if you're really dedicated to it. But overall, the program kind of like just set your foundation. You know, you guys are always out for as a resource. I always see you guys preaching to your student, kind of like engaging, promoting a lot of engagement from everyone's. And yeah, there's I think some student I do see that's like, you know, more proactive, and I can see they're very successful, and I can see, you know, and then for myself, kind of like, yeah, kind of quite excited. I think that's why when I shoot you the, yeah, my update, I'm pretty sure I catch you guys like by surprise too, because like I rarely kind of ask some question, but then it works.
No,
But and then
I
yeah,
didn't know you were on that crazy of a hot streak. Like,
I
you ever see
right,
multiple 1 to 3 to 5% plays? I love it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just showing the screen sort of your profits if you're okay with that.
Yeah, go for it if you can.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Well, Antoine, any like closing thoughts, anything you want to pretty much just say?
Yeah, I think overall it's an opportunity for me. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, you know, like, from this algorithm suggestion, I saw you know, and then of course now that it's in my feed, there's a lot of algorithm like pushing option trade and whatnot. But I stay away from all that, and this is somehow I think this program works. Sure, I could, you know, like this resources are on the internet, and but it's just like be able to be in this collective group, the same mindset, and just helping each other is ultimately what you are, you know, like get into in this program. And yeah, complete starter. I don't see a reason why someone that's from zero, ground zero, cannot pick this up like in quick. Like like you mentioned, I think my initial call, like it was shared that, you know, like you guys will help set the training wheels on, if you really need help. Any question, like small or big, like, you know, like sometimes I understand some of these, you know, like technical then term, but then just repeating, hearing it, it's like, hey, there's always something to learn. So yeah, just anyone who's really willing to learn, willing to take a risk, just yeah, expand your horizon, and I think you'll find your own success within yourself. So
Beautiful. Antoine, thank you so much for pretty much your time and sharing sort of your experience with everybody. And
yeah.
I can't wait to see your success.
For sure, yeah. I really want to give you guys any update for, you know, end of the year, whatever the exciting might be. So yeah, I can hope you can continue success, and yeah, thanks to you and the team for, you know, this. I guess somehow our world intertwined on, you know, just a spot, you know, Instagram advertisement, and yeah, glad it came out to me. So
Beautiful. Awesome.
yeah,
And have a nice rest of your Friday, okay?
all right, you too, and yeah, the weekend. So enjoy yourself,
You too.
Vera. Yeah,
Bye-bye.
all right, bye.